It's 30% chance of increasing the duration of one random debuff on the target. That is a very good basic attack. Let me tell you, especially for an epic, that is quite good there. This guy is just named The Fat. They seriously pronounce him The Fat. Wow, they're just coming out with it now.
Well, pod. Welcome, well, pod. Don't forget to subscribe. This is Darth Microtransactions channel, and we're gonna have some fun tonight. Well, pod, welcome back.
So here's what we have, 3.2, and there's a new champion coming to the game, King Garog, which he attacks an enemy, twice he does, has a chance of stunning them, increases to 50% if the term meter is equal to or below 50%. So he stuns, higher chance of stunning if they're below 50%, hack to bits, hits somebody 4 times. Each critical hit has a chance of decreasing the cooldown of the next move, and the next move attacks all enemies and ignores 20% of each target's defense. This is similar to like Ox's 20%. Will ignore further 5% of defense for each buff on the target. Interesting, so he kind of shreds people with a lot of buffs up. I like that, but he only hits once. It really depends on how high of multipliers he has. If he has high multipliers, he could be quite good. Let's see, in the passive is increases the champion's speed by 6 and critical damage by 7 for each enemy the champion kills in a round. Really? Okay. Now, it depends if it resets in a battle or per round, okay? Stacks up to 30 and 35%. Stacks will reset if he's killed. Whenever an enemy champion is revived, this champion's term meter fill him by 30% for each revived enemy, and then places 50% attack and increased damage. Okay, I get it. So it's like somebody gets revived, he gets some term meter fill, you try to reset his Gore Maker, which does constant AoEs that ignore defense. He seems like a solid character. I like that he's force. Kind of reminds me of Robar in a way. I mean, he fits the role of the orcs. I don't know what it is. I'm not like horribly impressed. I think it's because I need to know he's a damage guy, right? I would need to know his ratios, since it's kind of all about his Gore Maker there. If he hits hard, then he's quite good probably. If not, maybe disappointing. Who is this lizard looking fella? Magic legendary. Attacks an enemy, 50% chance of filling the term meter. Chance of placing perfect veil on him if he crits. Okay, it seems pretty good. Attacks an enemy and fills this champion's term meter by 50%. Also has a chance of placing stun debuff if he's under the veil or perfect veil. Chance of placing a sleep debuff. Oh, I see what happens here. So, okay. So basically this guy attacks from perfect veil, fills his term meter. Got it. And stuns while he's under a buff. However, if he's not in a buff, then he sleeps. So he does CC either way, but the stun, you're going to get the guaranteed stun. I get it. Okay. So that's interesting. Goes to 100%. That's a pretty good move. It's actually a pretty good move. And it places perfect veil on him after attacking without a veil. So if he doesn't have it, he becomes invisible. If he's invisible, he gets stunned. If he's not invisible, he gets sleep. Fairly easy to understand. Again, he gets 50% term here. Okay, got it. So then flicker step while he's under a veil or perfect veil, attacks all the enemies and places, here we go, the defense down and weaken and decreases. So we have another character here that is basically Dracomorph. It is an AoE, but it's an attack. So he can get weak hit. That is insane, okay? It attacks all enemies if he's under the buff. If he's not under the buff, then it attacks one enemy. He's not as good as Dracomorph, though, now that I think about it, because Dracomorph can just do it, whereas this guy has to be under a perfect veil. And then his passive is he gets block debuffs and strengthen buff on himself and continuous heal whenever they receive a veil. So this guy is really, really annoying, basically. He constantly kind of heals himself, keeps himself under veil, and does a lot of really good moves. So that's a good character. That might be the winner of it. Who's this guy? Iron Brago. Wait, this is the fusion guy, though, right? Now that I think about this guy, he's not the fusion, is he? I think it's this guy's the fusion. Iron Brago. It's one of them, anyway. Attacks an enemy, 20% chance of decreasing the duration of all buffs by 1 turn. That's pretty good. Attacks a single enemy, and when with the books, it's going to put it to 30%. Let's see what else here. Further charge, increased defense buff on all allies for 3 turns, then attacks 1 enemy. Okay. Attacks it after, hopefully is based upon defense then. Has a chance of placing a stun debuff for 2 turns if the target is under 2 or more buffs. That's not, oops, sorry, I clicked in my other. That's nice. So if that's the case, that I wish that was unresistible or said like will happen even if they have block debuffs, because then it would make more sense. Let's see here. Attacks all enemies. A chance of placing provoke. Okay. Places 50% decreased debuff on the enemies if Ironbugger is under increased defense. Okay, so if you do the Fearless Charge first, then you do this afterwards, right? You get the decreased attack. Okay, cool. And then the passive increases defense of all allies by 10% of his defense. Once again, I really hope his damage is based upon defense. And then increases defense in all tower battles by 35%. So that's supposed to help you with the Doom Tower. I could see that helping you with the Doom Tower for sure. Overall, I see this as just like a pretty solid character. I mean, decreasing duration on a basic's good. Increasing defense on all allies for 3 turns, not 2, is great. Chance of placing stuns, great. I like it. Actually, I like this character. I don't know how hard the fusion's going to be, okay? We're going to have to see once we get it on Thursday. I'm hoping this one's going to be a little bit easier, okay? But let's keep going. There's some epics coming to the game too. Attacks an enemy, 50% chance of removing 1 random debuff from a random ally. That's pretty good basic. I like that. It's kind of a reverse Golden Reaper, right? Where like Golden Reaper, like, not really reverse, but it's like a version of it where she gave it like a decreased cooldown. This one removes a buff. And that had the chance goes higher there. It goes all the way up to 75% chance. Pretty good. Then here, places shield buff on all allies equal to 20% of her max HP. That's good, especially because she's an HP type character. Places 15% heal buff on all allies for 2 turns. That's great. It's a really good move. And then the shield goes up with the books too. That's great. Basic revives 2 random allies with 20% HP and Termir. This is a dwarf, if I believe. Yeah, it is a dwarf. So that's fantastic for faction wars. Really reviving 2 random allies is kind of what you need to get through that faction wars. So that's probably why they put her in there, because to be honest, Dwarf 21 faction wars is probably the hardest one to do. Now, Bannerlord, the epic basic attack, an enemy places an extra hit if they have no active buffs. That's kind of whatever. Heals an ally 40% of their max HP, but heals by 60% instead if they have less than 50% HP. So it heals them overcapped just a little bit. That's nice for the people that have passives based upon overcapped healing, like Ironclad, for instance. Has 50% chance of removing all buffs from all enemies. Then places a sleep debuff for 1 turn on all enemies who have active buffs. That's quite good. So if it doesn't remove it, they get slept. I like that. That is good too. I wonder if the sleep portion is a resistible portion, or if it's like yin yang, like it gets resisted, doesn't happen, then this does happen. That could make her even like way more nutty. Here we have Vogoth. He's an undead. Undead share of a lot of people. Attacks an enemy 3 times on basic. Normally that's really good. Each hit has 30% chance of increasing the duration of 1 random debuff on the target. That is a very good basic attack. Let me tell you, especially for an epic, that is quite good there. A triple hit with increasing the duration of random. I want this character. Holy moly, is that good. Attacks all enemies. Has 60% chance of placing provoke debuff on all enemies. Also has a chance of placing decreased attack for targets who receive the provoke. So they did that so that you can't provoke clan boss, right? So they did that so that you can't provoke clan boss and they have a decreased attack with this guy. That makes sense because he would be a nuts clan boss epic. Whenever this champion is attacked, heals all allies by 50% of the damage received. Heals all allies by 50% of the damage. Wow, only heals 25% of the damage from boss attacks. This champion only receives half the heal other allies receive. That's still nuts. When attack places a leech debuff on the attack for 2 turns. That's very good for clan boss. If the attacker is under provoke, placed by this champion, has a chance of increasing the cooldown range. So he's kind of good. He might be good for PvP and pretty good for PvE. I like epics like this to feel like if you're someone who poses this guy and you're early on or like free to play like me and you pull this guy's like a no-brainer. You're gonna use him because he's good for PvE, might be good for PvP. Like for me right now where I'm at, I could totally use this guy. Who's the next one here? Chance of placing a stun on basic, pretty good. Barbarian attacks all enemies. Chance of placing a decreased defense, steals Termir from those under decreased defense. Wow, I like that. I hope it steals it from ones she just placed under that then. Decreases the Termir of all enemies by 20%. It's a chance of placing stun. Wow, she's a CC'er. And then with Termir drive, fills this champion's Termir by 10% each time an enemy receives a stun buff. Not that she places it, so she'll get Termir bonus too, and hopefully there's no cooldown on that. So that is another good character. That's like War Maiden on steroids. No, yeah, War Maiden. Ursula the Mourner. So we have Ursula attacks an enemy, chance of decreasing target's term either. Okay, 10% is a little low. Attacks all enemies, chance of decreased attack. Places increased attack, that's good. Revives all dead allies with 75. Then fills the Termir by 50%. Places increased defense and strengthen. Okay, she's nuts. This is another nuts character. No wonder they made her a void. That's a nuts epic. Let's check out Annex. Attacks an enemy 2 times. decreased defense. That's good. Attacking me 2 times. There's a chance of decreased accuracy and a 5% poison. Okay, that's good too. The problem is you're going to eat. They made them great. They made them good, but not great because they didn't want to make them too good. So now they decrease accuracy, right? If that lands on the clan boss, you have to eat 1 poison spot. But look, he also does weaken, which is great. So he does decrease defense and weaken. This is a no-brainer. I would use this guy. I haven't even read the passive yet. Increases defense on this champion when HP drops below, attack when he drops below, and grants an extra turn when he drops below. Holy moly, he's good. This guy is just named The Fat. They seriously pronounce him The Fat. Wow, they're just coming out with it now. That's great. Farakin the Fat. Okay, attacks an enemy, chance of decreased defense, another good one. Chance of placing poison and 2 oh my god, HP debuff and 2 poisons. He's great. Increased crit rate and increased damage. He's fantastic. Deflect 20% of all incoming damage onto all allies, which spread equally across the allies. I don't know how I feel about that one, but you know what? That is nuts. You know what? Maybe you can make him eat the punch so he doesn't die so easily. And I don't know. But dude, this guy's fantastic. Okay, how about this guy? Decrease accuracy, decrease attack, decrease defense. That's good. Provoke, reflect, unkillable. Okay. I mean, that's all right. I don't mind that. Decreases defense. He's okay. This character attacked 3 times. Chance of decreasing the duration of random buffs. Places block debuffs on all allies. Continuous heal on all allies. That's good. Attacks an enemy. Chance of transferring all debuffs. Remove all debuffs from all allies. Wow, man. You know what? These epics, these are game-changing epics, man. Like, these are epics that are actually good. Chance of placing HP debuff. 50% increased attack buff on all allies. Fills the term of all. That's good. Revives 2 random. These are just good, man. I don't think I have to go through all of these. Like, there's only one more, I guess, but these are all good epics. Like, I didn't really see one in there that I was like, that's trash, that's diluting the pool. All of these epics, if you pull these, are really good. I'm considering them from my perspective, where it's like, I'm coming on my new account. If I got one of these epics, I'd be like, yes, you know what I mean? Maybe not the last one as much, but like, great. Okay, these are actually good. And that's very surprising because normally the pool kind of gets diluted, but all of these are good. I'm not gonna like spend money trying to get them, but if I pull them on the free to play, they're fantastic. If you pull them coming up, that's great. There's also, I want to talk about very briefly here, they're also doing the daily login rewards expansion here. So it's going to go forever, which is another great change here. And the miscellaneous, we're going to be extending it. You can, obviously the champion collection you're gonna have to pay for, but you can go up to 300 spots now. And Artifact, we get another 300. This should have been like just 2,000 spots or something, because honestly, the artifact storage is a little ridiculous. And clan boss battles will always start in manual mode rather than an auto battle, AKA it doesn't mess up your first turn off the bat. Now, this is actually a good patch. Seems like another good patch on the back of another decent patch, though. I will say that people are saying Doom Tower got harder. I don't know. I've been so focused on the free-to-play series. Hopefully it didn't get harder, because we're supposed to do the free-to-play till we can beat the Doom Tower. So that would be a bummer. By the way, I put the free-to-play series in the playlist. I'm going to put it right here for you guys so you can watch all the free-to-play series from the beginning. It's going to be on the left side, and on the right side, I'm going to put the latest free-to-play episode in case you haven't seen it. Love y'all. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.